made my way up. I'm also a former MVP, so I was a participant on the program, and it's been great for me so far. And I'm pretty sure I'll share a little bit more of this story in a little bit.
Hi, everyone. I am Dominique Pegram. I am super excited to be here. I actually am the program manager for the Management Development Program. So, really excited to share a little bit more about the program. I joined Hilton about 10 months ago, and it's been an amazing experience in the hospitality industry.
Thank you. And my name is Meredith Moore. I do early talent on the hotel operations side of things. I'm based out of our global headquarters in McLean, Virginia, which is just outside DC. And I actually have a background in elementary education and nonprofit in the volunteer space. And then I found my way to Hilton 5.5 years ago. So if you're someone on the call that has a different background and you're thinking about transitioning into this industry, it absolutely can be done. There's something in the hospitality space for everyone. So excited to share with you tonight. Let's get these slides a going. So here's your quick history lesson. Hilton 101 in case you wanted to go to class again tonight. Our company was founded by Conrad Hilton. If he doesn't look familiar to you, I think you should look him up at some point. He is an absolutely fascinating man. I'm going to go off script here for a second. Our team actually had the opportunity today to meet with his granddaughter named Linda Hilton. And it was a fascinating conversation. She actually represents the Hilton Foundation, but she's also a part of our team. She actually is the board member there and chairman of the board for that. But she also has a role now in Hilton as legacy. So please know that this really is a company that was founded as a family company, and they still have an awful lot to do with it. And that was just really a fascinating day for us today. But anyways, we have been around for over 105 years. There aren't too many companies that can actually say that. And so what was one man's dream 105 years ago is turned into some of the properties that you see here today. We have over 24 brands, 8,000 hotels. We've just crossed that milestone. 1.2 million rooms in 126 territories and countries around the world. And we have over 500,000, I am saying that number correctly, rooms in our pipeline right now, meaning they're still in development. We know we have an additional 500,000 rooms coming in the next few years. So it's just an incredible journey from where he was to where we are today. On the next slide, you'll see some of our brands. Take a good look at this. There may be brands on here that you didn't realize were underneath the Hilton umbrella or the Hilton enterprise. It might be Spark, which is one of our newer brands. The Graduate is a brand that we just recently acquired. Nomad is another brand that we've recently acquired. You may very well know Hampton Inn, but you might not have known it was Hilton. For the purposes of the MDP program that we're talking about, you could potentially be placed in full service. There's a couple of lifestyle brands that participate in our program, luxury, or maybe even at an Embassy Suites. What I really want to draw your attention to is our Hilton Honors Program. So if you know anything about Hilton, our loyalty program is award-winning globally. We just recently crossed the threshold for that at 200 million Hilton Honors members around the world. That's a staggering number of people that are loyal guests to the Hilton brand. We also are award winning for that because you can also use your Lyft points. I don't know if you know that. You can use Amazon points and you can move them back and forth and you can buy things. You can even invite your family to share your points with you. Award winning. I just thought I'd point that out. So if you haven't signed up for Hilton Honors, you should probably do it. Let me tell you too about why our culture is so important. So Conrad, 105 plus years ago, had a vision, and it's a very simple vision. It was to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality. He truly believed that if you could bring people together inside a hotel, in a restaurant for a cup of coffee and sat face to face with them, that you could potentially focus on peace and understanding of other people And he wanted to do that. He took the company global after not too many years, and it was the first US hotel company to actually become global. So just keep that in mind in everything that we do. We are always talking about our vision. What do we do with our promise? Why do we have a promise? What does that do for our culture? Well, we have a promise to our team members. We start first with each other. We will engage and interact with each other in our most inclusive, not exclusive, inclusive, and authentic way possible. We treat each other just like we would treat our customers, our guests. We want that same feeling of hospitality among each other. What do we do for our guests? We want to deliver the most friendly, reliable service every stay, every time, every property. To our owners, it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. We owe our owners value while having a positive impact. And to our communities, a hotel property has a big impact in a community, both positive and in some real challenging ways. If you have a gigantic building that's generating that much laundry and food, is there food waste? Is there water waste? What about the electricity? There are all kinds of environmental challenges, and we really take that seriously, and we work hard to leave as little of a footprint environmentally as possible. But where we want to have a big impact in our community, we bring jobs to the area. Our team members volunteer. We have something called Travel with Purpose. It's an entire week designated globally where our team members will volunteer in the communities and donate over hundreds of thousands of hours collectively to give back. Our values also drive our culture at Hilton. So if you look carefully down the line there, you'll notice that it spells out Hilton. So hospitality, integrity, leadership, teamwork, ownership, and now. And I always like to point out the last one. I like to point out the now. That's doing things with a sense of urgency. And let me put it in perspective for you. If you've ever been in a hotel and you need an extra towel or a different kind of pillow, you probably don't want them to bring it to you 5 hours later. You would like them to bring it to you as soon as they possibly can. If for some reason your air conditioning's not working in your room and you need that fixed, you don't want them fixing it the next day. You want it done with a sense of urgency. At the corporate level, if my leader needs a report done for me or wants some information, I'm not going to wait a week to get it to him. I'm going to do it with a sense of urgency that makes sense. It doesn't mean we're a bunch of people running around like crazy, just trying to get stuff done, but it's with intentionality. And then back to the owners too. If you've got somebody that has a lot of things riding on it, you need to get that to them, and with a sense of discipline as well. So those are our values. Our priorities. How do we know what we're going to do? Well, the number one priority for each one of us every day is leading with our culture. We are all leaders inside of this organization in some way, shape, or form. We want to win with our customers. We want our customers to return. We want to enhance our network effect. That's going back to our communities again. How far does it spread? How far and how many people are we actually impacting all the time? And then we want to maximize our performance because, again, at the end of the day, it's a business. So all of these things collectively are what sets us apart and our culture. And because we stay true to that, we are an award-winning company. We were ranked the #1 best place to work in the world's best workplace. And that is not just amongst hospitality companies, that's compared to every company. So that's against Amex and Meta and Amazon and all the big names you might think of, all the big banks, everybody. We were the #1 best place to work, and it's because of that culture. On our next slide, we will show you that we get ranked around the world as well. Take a look at the size of this map and the places around the world where we are having an impact, where our team members feel appreciated, they have growth opportunities. They really call it the #1 best place to work. My favorite thing on this is a little bit over there to the right. At the bottom, you'll see Fair 360 Hall of Fame. That's an award for diversity. And from that company, we have been ranked #1 with our our diversity and inclusion metrics so many times that they've actually put us in their Hall of Fame. And I just think that that's so important and so near and dear to my heart. We talk about Hilton. We are diverse by nature. So if you think about it, it's a global company. We welcome any guest from anywhere at any time. So that's diverse by nature. But what we are is inclusive by choice. We include everybody. We have 9 TMRGs, we call them, our team member resource groups. You might have heard of them called ESGs before. We call them team member resource groups at Hilton. We have 9 of them, including for veterans, including for women, including for Black and Hispanic and Asian Pacific Islanders. I can't even list them all. Oh, for abilities. So we identify with people with different disabilities. And the best part about any of these groups here at Hilton, anyone can join them. You don't have to identify with that group. You can join because you want to be an ally and show your allyship and your sense of inclusiveness. Went on a tangent, but that's my favorite thing about Hilton. So why is it another reason why it's a great place to work? Well, because of our benefits. And we didn't list our what you would call standard benefits here, like medical, dental, vision, maternity leave, all those different kinds of things, because we do, again, win awards for that. We didn't list those. These are really 3 unique different things on here, and that's why we're calling them out. We were the first hospitality company to actually have a team member travel program. We get extreme deep discounts to travel around the world at any of our properties. The rate is based on what category of property it is, but I'll just give you a little hint. I can stay at a Hampton Inn for under $50 a night anywhere around the world. So that's super cool. You are a full-time team member in this program, so you get all of these benefits, including all the medical. Thrive Sabbatical, our company actually gives you a chance to take some time off. You wouldn't be able to do this during your 12 months of the program, but know that if you stayed afterwards, eventually you have access to Thrive Sabbatical. They actually give you a chance to take the time off while you're being paid, and they give you money to give to whatever organization you're supporting during that time off. Thrive Reset. If you need to take a little time off because you've gone through a difficult time and you need to reset yourself, we have a program for that too. And then this is a newer one for us, is Thrive at Hilton, the Care for All platform. At certain times in our lives, we all need a break or a little lift. And I think in these most recent few years, it's become very apparent, and it's very important what companies are doing to take notice of our mental health. But it might not be our own mental health. It might be that of one of our family members, one of our children. We have a whole platform, this hub called Care for All, where we can sign up for free mental health for ourselves, for our families. Maybe we need help with organizing things for our families. I am personally coming to you from my elderly parents' home tonight because I needed to come take care of them for a couple of days. There's an app that I can use that Hilton provides free of charge to me called Wealthy that I can start organizing all my parents' medical needs and appointments on it. Just an unbelievable resource full of things that Hilton has provided to me because they want me to be able to thrive as a person and as a team member. So awesome stuff here. Now, why is it a great place to stay? Well, we talked about the history of it, but I want you to know a little bit more how it continues to be an innovative company. Not only are we improving our brands all the time, right? Adding to that portfolio all the time. Here's some things that Hilton actually invented. We were the first people to bring cold water and air conditioning into the hotel space. Can you imagine a time when you didn't have that? And people actually came to hotels so that they could have cold running water and air conditioning. Room service. We were actually the first hotel company to actually bring you room service. Guest TVs, another reason people would sometimes just come to stay at hotels, if you can believe it or not. TVs were only for the wealthy. So there was a time when there wasn't one in every single American household, and you would go to a hotel, and that was a luxury to stay in the hotel room and watch television. I personally still love to binge Netflix in some of the rooms when I'm on travel. And then this computerized CRS. That's the customer reservation system. We were the first one to have it computerized. So very interesting. And we're also the first ones that now you can book a stay with the connected rooms by yourself with a click of a button on our reservations. So why else is it a great place to stay? Because this force of change doesn't stop. AutoCamp is one of our other newest brands. It's actually glamping. So we've entered into that space. The SLH collection, that's small luxury hotels, those are global. That's new to our portfolio. If you're coming from a big college town, you may have a graduate hotel near your university. We have recently acquired that, and they're making really cool changes there and improvements. Watch for more to come. And then our Stir Creative Collective is actually, we have a whole team of people that focus on what customers, guests want to have, what makes your hotel unique about the restaurant that's in it. We've updated recently our Hampton Inn waffles. We've made some changes for the 40th anniversary of Hampton Inn. If you go to Hilton Garden Inn, there should be a seasonal drink there. We have a partnership with Jose Andres if you're into knowing who your professional chefs are and your award-winning Michelin chefs. We have partnerships with some of them. So there's a whole team of people constantly innovating and keeping up with what the modern taste buds want. So we've talked about Hilton and how all of this is happening and making the stay. How can you join this program? Dominique's going to come on and tell you all the details about what MDP trainee program is really all about.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Meredith. Hilton has been such an innovator. So it's always great and always a great reminder to see all the things that we've accomplished over the past 105 years. So why you should join the Management Development Program. This program is really designed to accelerate your career as one of our future hospitality and property leaders. And so this program is a 12-month program that starts in August 2025. So even if you've not been in a hotel before or you've never worked in the hospitality industry, that is okay. We help prepare you for that. So the first 3 months of the program, you'll be in a general rotation where you'll get a really good idea of all the different aspects of the hotel. So everything from front office to housekeeping to food and beverage, catering, sales, finance, marketing. So everything that you can think of, you will spend the first 3 months of your role at one of our properties just exploring those areas, really understanding what it's like to be a manager in those areas so that you can be a successful manager upon finishing the program. Then you'll spend 6 months in a specific department, one of those departments, really understanding what the day-to-day of that role is, right? Leading pre-shift meetings or maybe dealing with some of our team member issues or planning team member events. So there's a lot of things that you could be doing as a manager. And then you'll spend kind of the next 3 months of the program kind of either just continuing to delve deeper into that role and really understanding what it is to be a manager, or kind of going into a different role as we look to find you what that post-program placement will be. We do have competitive entry-level management salary that will be based on location. So Elena will be talking a bit more about where we have some of our hotels, but we've got hotels in Hawaii, we've got them in Florida. I know we've got Disney properties, we've got Times Square. So you may have an interest, and I'm pretty sure that we may have a hotel there. We do have personal and professional development opportunities. So we allow you the opportunity to not only get that hands-on experience at your hotel, but we also do webinars. So for example, yesterday I just did a webinar with some of our current MDPs on maximizing mentorship, because you do get mentorship in this program, and it's a very important part of this program. We want to make sure that you feel supported, that you feel like you can thrive in the environment that you're in. And then upon successful completion of the program, we do work with you through our Career Concierge program, where we match you with one of our recruiters like Elena, and they will kind of work with you to find that perfect full-time opportunity for you upon successful completion of the program. Awesome. So which role will you choose? If that all sounds great and you're like, I'm on board. So we've got front office and rooms. This is really an you to interact with our guests, right? Very front facing. So doing guest check-ins and checkouts, and really just interacting with our guests, and being that first face that they most often see when they enter the hotel. Then you've got our food and beverage team. Our food and beverage team does a lot of different things around the hotel. So some of them may work in the restaurants, right? But also they do help with surprise and delights, which is an opportunity for you to interact with our guests and really surprise and help make their experience the best that it can be at our hotels. And then you've also got housekeeping. Housekeeping is a very important part of our hotel, right? So when you walk in the front door, right, it's how our hotel looks, how our public spaces look, but also your room, right? I'm sure we've all walked into a hotel room, right? Maybe after having a long day or a long flight. And we just want to make sure that we feel like we can just sometimes go to bed, sometimes feel rested. And so our housekeeping team does a wonderful job of making sure that that is how you feel when you walk in the room. So now I'm going to introduce you to Pietro, who you met earlier on the call. He is a former MDP and is now a banquets manager. He's just going to share a little bit more about his experience and why the MDP was such a great opportunity for him to not only just expand his career, but also just learn a little bit more about Hilton. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. I was just saying thank you for you. And so let me talk a little bit about myself and also my experience here as a Hilton employee and also my time as an MDP. So I've been with Hilton for 7 years now. I started in the same property that I am current. I started as a part-time room service server. Very quick, I was able to move a little steps on the professional ladder. I eventually became a full-time server, and then I was always willing to help and be part of a team. So I did some work as a bartending. I started to serve. I work as a pool bar. Then the pandemic came. I was on furlough for 14